Yo, YouTube, this is Jordan Steele 88 coming at you with another video. And I'm going to talk about the Steelers staff at the Senior Bowl scouting players. So let's get into it. Well, the Steelers staff that includes Mike Tomlin, Assistant General Manager Eddie whatever his name is, and Omar and current and head GM Omar Khan and Brian Flores were at the Senior Bowl scouting players. The main thing they were scouting was the offense was the offense, both offensive and defensive line. So that we all know that offensive line is our top needs in the draft. So it's defensive line. So this is really important in football. That football is won in the line of scrimmage. So in the first round, I was seeing a lot of Steeler vid makers say, do you need to get offensive line, which I very much agree. The problem with our offensive line was our left side of the offensive line. Because Dan Moore and Kevin Dotson have been terrible. So Mike Tomlin, for what I heard, with reports, all these reports in over social media, that he's been looking at the offensive line. He's looking for and the defensive line, both sides of the ball. Now, there's some names that I don't quite remember. The top prospects for the Senior Bowl in the draft, but I think they was looking at this one. That I think a lot of people talk about. One person that I know is Paris Johnson from Ohio State. Could pick him up in the draft, because the left tackle is one of our top needs for this draft, because Dan Moore has not lived up to any expectations. He's been terrible as he get beat off speed rushers. Because the Steelers had, ever since Marquise Pouncey and David Castro have left the Steelers, the offensive line has been ignored, especially in the first and second round. Because I remember in 2021 draft, we drafted Kendrick Green in the third round, who was a guard, but we made him play center, and that did not turn out well throughout 2021. And he's been inactive all 2022. And Dan Moore, who was picked in the fourth round of 2021, like I said before, has been terrible. And he's not starting material. So the Steelers this year's draft cannot ignore offensive line this time. They might pick up some in free agency, because everybody's been talking about Taylor Lewan. But that's going to be another video for another time. You know, I already talked about it in my previous video. I might talk about it sometime again. So, put it like this. Because when the Steelers have great offensive linemen like Marquise Pouncey, David Castro, they turn out pretty well. They work consistently good. For guys who protect Ben Roethlisberger, because they're responsible for protecting Ben Roethlisberger. And Marcus Gilbert at times, because he's more of a run blocker, in my opinion. And then Ramon Foster, even though he was not a Pro Bowler, he was consistent. Alejandro Villanueva, excuse me. That's his name. He's been up and down. It was up and down. So this year's draft, the Steelers cannot ignore the offensive line, because Mike Tomlin's been looking at it at the Senior Bowl for what I heard. Now the defensive line, especially the nose tackle position, because Monterius Adams is not starting material. There was this one guy, I forgot his name, from Wisconsin. But let me know in the comment section who I'm talking about. or they could get this guy from I don't know if he was a senior or not, but because I had this guy on a video about this guy from Oregon, and I also forgot his name, but let me know the comment section on that. Because defensive line, especially nose tackle, excuse me, is important. Because we need a nose tackle that could plug up that could take up the guard in the center, just to have the linebacker stop the run. I mean, the nose tackle don't have to make a lot of plays, but at least it can free up the linebackers wherever they're blitzing or whatnot, or whatever. But anyway, the offensive line has to be addressed ASAP in the draft. I'm gonna talk about the draft priorities a week on the draft. So yeah, because that's what this video is about. The Steelers staff at the Steelers staff in the Senior Bowl. Because the guys that were there, like I said from the beginning, are GM Omar Khan, Mike Tomlin, Brian Flores, although he's still getting interviewed by some teams for defensive coordinator position, and Andy Weddle. Now Andy Weddle, he built the Eagles' offensive defensive lines during his time in Philadelphia. I'm not saying it's gonna be the same for the Steelers, but because this is one of the reasons the Eagles are in the Super Bowl this year. I know this is not about the Eagles in this video, but let's put an example out there. Because he's an assistant GM, Andy Weddle, or that's his name, whatever his name is. This guy built the Eagles' defensive and offensive line, and that's the reason they got Jordan Davis from Georgia in last year's draft, during his time in Philadelphia, doing his GM tenure in Philly. So, and they signed us on ready for free agency. And that's why the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, because of him. Now, could he duplicate what he did in Philly and Pittsburgh? That remains to be seen. But anyway, so Steelers staff in the Senior Bowl, and they were scouted, and they were focusing on the offensive line and the defensive line. So let me know in the comment section what you think about Steelers focusing on the offensive line in the Senior Bowl. So this is Jordan Steele 88 coming at you with another video. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification for more Steelers and more Steelers content and other Pittsburgh sporting content on this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.